You are live. Hey, historians. Welcome back to another episode of the Historically Haunted Vodcast show right here on Facebook, on the Facebook page through StreamYard. I apologize, everyone. We had some great guests last week, Chelsea Gill and Daryl Marston, and I had to cancel because I was really sick last week. I actually took a corona test, but I took heat exhaustion and dehydration, and I had Heather Witch take care of me, who's kind of being my guest this week. We're going to have some regular guests next week. It's going to be just like an hour of me and her shooting the shit, and I think she's ready. Give me the nod if you're ready. There's a smile. I'll take it. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
You like it better like this or like this?
I think how you have it right now is really good.
That okay.
Yeah.
So there's Betsy Lou. Hello, Betsy Brown.
Hi,
Williams.
Betsy.
Thank you for joining us. And there's a hi, Heather, from her. So yeah, like I said, we're just kind of doing a trial run because I was really, really sick last week. Heather kind of helped me a little bit. I was out. I thought I was having a fucking stroke. I literally thought I was going to go to the hospital where I flew home, and I woke up, Saturday night, and I crawled to the bathroom, and it was just a horrible, horrible fucking scene. Hi, Crystal Hill. Thanks for checking in. I hope you're doing well. And, of course, the ever popular Lilac. How are you, dear? Hello, sweetheart, she says. Yeah, bummer. Yeah, I was really fucking out. I actually took a COVID test because I've never gotten a shot for it or nothing. And I never had COVID. I took a test, and I was negative. I was just really fucking. It's like it's hot here. I know it's like 120 out in Mexico or in California where you guys are used to it. But when it's 98 in Maine, that's like 190 where you guys are. That is the hot. We're not used to that much heat. We're not used to getting above, 85, Heather? And then we panic.
Yeah, I remember as a child, like the summers where it was a heat wave if it would hit like 80, you know?
Yeah, so it wasn't fun, and I've been pounding water trying to get back. But I want to talk about some of our travels. Like I said, I didn't want to bring a guest on in case. Thank you so much. I'm glad Rex Crystal. I almost went to the hospital. I don't do it much, but I was fucking done. I canceled my podcast last week and my radio show, and I've never done that in the almost a year that I've done it. So, horror weeks. Yeah, the last few years, every summertime. Yeah, that's why we love our autumn. You're right, Betsy. But that didn't deter us from doing some shit. Of course, I took 3 or 4 days off, and it felt like I was like literally the laziest person alive. But when Heather came down, we did some cool shit. Let's talk about Athena, the bulldog, Athena Sky. We actually went to Better Safe than Sorry. Yeah, you're right, Lilac. I was getting worried, and it turned out to be just like I said. But I'm better now, so oh yeah, right. It's no rush, Crystal. We appreciate you checking in. Athena, we like I said, this goes on to YouTube channel. It gets saved forever, so you can always watch later on. But anyway, so I know there's people checking in now. Hey, everybody, thanks for checking in. It's going to be kind of all right. See, I'm talking about heat exhaustion and
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel's got corona. He's got COVID again, and he's checking in. Facebook user, but he messaged me saying he's going to try to. He's got COVID now, worse this time. So feel better, Nathaniel. So I can
it drains you. I haven't been diagnosed with it. So if I ever had it, even before, like I feel like I got it in February of 2019, and it really didn't hit until like March, April,
right,
of 2020.
Yeah,
I think that people really knew what was going on. But I from what I hear from everybody that has it, and Nathaniel can even back me up here, it drains you. Like it's exhausting. Like not like a flu, but it's I don't know, it just drains all your energy. So eat soup, Nathaniel. Make sure you have people taking care of you.
Yeah, Nate's definitely not shy of eating good food. So let's get off this subject. I'm sure no one wants to fucking hear about all this stuff. So let's talk about some good shit. Let's talk about some historically haunted shit. So I went to a place, Heather and I took her because it's closer to my home now that I live by Bangor. And it's a place where not many people outside of New England, maybe Massachusetts people know it, but not many people outside of New England know it unless you're from Maine or know somebody from Maine, because it's a Maine lore, but it's very much a legacy. We went to go see the family plot and the gravestone of Colonel and Justice of the Peace Jonathan Buck, Colonel Buck. His town used to be Plantation 1. He actually was born in Woburn, Massachusetts. I'm reading this off Wikipedia. He was born in 1719. He was raised in Haverhill, the same town Rob Zombie was born and raised in. He did die in 1795 in Bucksport. Like I said, he's buried there. That he's the founder of the town. When he first settled it, it was known as Plantation 1. And when he died, they named it Bucksport in his honor. He was credited for building the first sawmill and opening the first general store there. But that's not really why we went. Obviously, that's great in itself. Being a justice of the peace, he had a witch burned, even though in New England they didn't do that, so I don't believe it. But supposedly hung or burned. There's many stories. But his tomb has got a black footprint on it. I'll show you a picture of it. And they've scrubbed it off. I don't know if this does it any justice. See that back footprint right here underneath Buck?
The long boot footprint.
That right there. That's been scrubbed away. Supposedly that's all been moved. And obviously it's a watermark, but it's kind of weird because when he had the girl killed, she said she'd dance on his grave, the witch. For having him killed. Supposedly he got her pregnant and he was already married. That's why he did it. Supposedly she really was a witch. There's a couple folklores. Of course, being fucking 300 years old, it's hard to get facts right. But his gravestone is there and there's a whole thing about it. What are your thoughts on that, Heather? Of course, being a witch. Obviously, witches are good and bad, just like anything else. Do you feel any lore to that?
I feel like, from what they say, obviously you got to be kind of scientific about stuff too. And if you know about that type of granite, that type of stone, it is known, it can have flaws that you just can't get out. But you know what? You can't prove to me that it is a flaw 100%. It's really all up for interpretation. And the fact that it brings enjoyment to people nowadays, I think is a crate. So I'm going to believe it.
Puts that town on the map because right across, there's a Kennebec River goes right through it. On the other side is Fort Knox, which everybody knows in Maine. Not the gold Fort Knox this is Fort Knox in Maine, which is big. It's the biggest thing, and there's a big bridge there and stuff. And his boot's right there. But also in that town, which let me show Nathaniel if you can see it again. He said the boot looks just me in front of it. I don't know if you can see it through the bars, but
you can kind of see it's above the flag. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Yeah.
It was actually black years ago, but like I said, they scrubbed. Let me do this. Maybe this is. Here we go. See that again. There it is. There's the boot.
I mean, look at that. Look at that legging. That's a little stocking right there.
And that was fucking bright. We took it.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. I mean, that feeds the lore in that town. Like, and there's even like you said, there's a Jonathan Buck monument thing.
Yeah.
Right in front of the cemetery. So, but also in that town too, which is kind of cool. And I found on Alice Obscura. Is the grave of Sarah Ware, W-A-R-E. I haven't uploaded that to Facebook yet, so I'll have to go on my thing.
So you guys are hearing about this visit for the first time.
Yeah, I haven't even uploaded a lot on Facebook yet. I try to go through. I try not, even though I post a lot of pictures, I actually have so much more, and I try not to flood it. But here's me and Sarah in my Wahlburger shirt. Can't really see that there, but let me do, if I can do her tombstone. Where is it? Okay, Sarah Ware.
Mm-hmm.
So she was a divorcee in the 1890s, like 91. She was a divorcee, and she went to the store and was never seen again. And then like a week later, they found her dead, mutilated, decomposing body in a field with no head, and her head was like about 100 yards away. So they kept her head as evidence, and they had a couple people, but no one got convicted. Today, it's still a cold case. It's an open case, and it took them like 10, 20 years to get her head out of the evidence locker and to get it reburied. Her family begged to get it buried with her body. So the grave of Sarah Ware, poor soul, is right there in Bucksport, right down the road in a separate cemetery.
Yeah, you can actually, there's a mystery ebook on Amazon Kindle.
Really?
It's called Sarah, Cold Case Murder Mystery Series.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Very gruesome,
Yeah.
Nathaniel says. I know you'd like that. Yeah, Nathaniel, and this is 1800s, man. In a little town like this, it's like Heather would never really been, but it reminds me of like Damariscotta almost, which is a little seaport town in Maine. There's not a lot of flashy stuff. There's no rides like Old Orchard Beaches, no crazy stuff like Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. It's very modest little seaport town. Well, actually, it's not even the sea. It's a saltwater river that connects to the sea, but it's not quite on it. It is a little bit, but not a lot in that town. So yeah, man, she got fucking murdered, man, and they never found her to the day that.
So I mean, she's a divorcee, which in the 1890s, you're talking, 130 years ago. Think about a woman who's getting a divorce. That's not happening a whole lot unless her husband's a very, very, very bad man.
Right.
Of course, this is just up for perception. I mean, obviously, the first one they had to have looked to had to have been the husband.
Yeah. I think it was still the ex-husband rather, but still, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a tree word or something like that, which I had a doctor. Nathaniel says he kind of compares it almost to the Vasilla axe murders in Vasilla, Iowa. I've been to that house. I haven't gone in, but yeah, eight people murdered, almost like Lizzie. That's an open case too of these murders. But yeah, I agree with that. Let's see. Adam, I'm carrying.
I was just reading that. I love that, Betsy.
Legacy. You know what's funny, Betsy? I'm not going to let you down. The actual hotel, it's in Utah, not Colorado. I looked up a thing, and the real hotel that they used was in Utah. And
they built the outside, right?
They built the outside to look like it. They actually built it in like England. The Shining Hotel with the whole thing and with Jack Torrance and the snow. It's in fucking England, and they built it to look like a hotel in Utah. I don't know why the Colorado one, but I know Stephen King stayed there and he got the idea for it. But that's not where they shot the film at all. It's just his inspiration, which is great. That's why we went to Dicehart's truck stop. It wasn't filmed there, but that's where he gets the inspiration for trucks, aka Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he didn't actually go there. He stayed there, but he didn't actually film there. But that's still cool, and I appreciate you doing that, Betsy. I mean, I didn't even know that myself. I saw a video of the Grim Life Collective people, and they know their shit. And they set me straight on that. So, Betsy commented on the little cemetery we stopped at last night, saying that it looked like Bigfoot would come out of there. How many times did I say that? You want to talk about that?
That was a scary. I don't want to say it was scary because it was very small, but it was very off. It was very strange. So you brought me down to this camping location, and it used to be
Katahdin Ironworks.
Katahdin Ironworks, and back in the days, in the late 1800s, they had this hotel there because of like the mining of the gems and the minerals here in Maine. So a lot of people were coming up. So you brought me down to where this hotel was, and it was was it 6? How many miles was that dirt road?
So we go down past Brownville, which is like Train Central in Maine, which is pretty much central Maine. That's where I'm living now, Dexter area. Dexter, the serial killer. There's a town named Dexter. That's actually the heart of Maine, right dead center of Maine, which is Maine's almost not quite the size of Texas, but Maine's bigger than all of New England put together. Maine's pretty big, and I'm dead center of it. And this road, you get off on this road to go to this Katahdin Ironworks, and it's got to be, I think it's at 16 miles of beautifully smooth dirt, but there's no street signs. There's like a couple camps, but no mailboxes, and there's nothing at all. And it's just dirt and wild rabbits and fucking mooses and mises, and there's nothing. And you go down and you cruise, smoking a joint, and you go on about 60, just relax and cruise and looking for deer. And then you get to the end, and there's a campsite and a big iron furnace. There used to be a train there and buildings and a fucking 3-story hotel, and there's still a campground there. And it's gorgeous, absolutely fucking gorgeous. Mount Katahdin is a big Katahdin, Kathadin. It's a big mountain in Maine. It's like Maine's biggest mountain, and this is right in the base of it. And it's the ironworks where they used to get coal and iron and ore and mica and all this shit.
So you brought us. So this big giant tower, this big huge kiln thing, where they would put the ore in and melt it down to iron. I had just read about this. Actually, I haven't even told you yet, but in 1882. Yep. We had a hurricane. Now, we don't get many hurricanes here, especially you're inland, okay? You're in the middle. But in 1882, a hurricane came.
That doesn't know justice.
Do you see that tower there? That doesn't know
justice.
The winds from the hurricane caused the heat from that kiln. It created fires, and it destroyed most of the plant. Yeah, it is beautiful.
And you can go inside. I mean, it's gotta be 300 feet tall. I mean, you go inside where the kiln is, where they used to burn shit, and there's holes in it, and you went in, and you can see where it looks like a volcano, like the inside's all, can't think of the word. It's almost like plasmified to the walls because it was so.
Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, like you can't melt rock, but if you could.
The kiln right there. I mean, you can't see, but see the glossiness of that? I didn't have flash on. That's like resin from being burned at 500 degrees to burn for iron.
Yeah, shiny. Very shiny.
I got a video. I think I uploaded the video on your Facebook, but. And there's a little kiln next to it too, and there's roads, and like I said, there's a stream, and there's fucking wild animals. And we talked to the people in the hut. I gave them a card for my radio show and the Vodcast. They're gonna check it out. They're all about it. So that was another cool find. Katahdin Ironworks. Nicole Gaspard's checking in. Hello, how are you, Nicole?
Hey, Nicole.
It's just kind of me and her tonight. I got a nice 8-piece tent out of my smell of camper trip. Tell you, Nathaniel, like you said, we can go up. I know your uncle said he did some Bigfoot Sasquatch towards his area. You wanted to camp out. I just bought a tent last week. I used it when I went camping, actually, a couple weeks ago at Witch Cove. I got a tent, an air mattress, a cot, 9mm, and a bunch of joints. I'm good. Let's go. Just kidding. I don't got a 9mm.
No, you don't have. As I say, well, you don't have a 9mm, but okay.
I got a machete, but yeah. I don't need guns. I got swords. I ain't scared of shit. So, but yeah, so we did that, and just on top of Stephen King stuff. Ooh, so we did go and see America's Most Wanted after. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Bonnie and Clyde, or maybe Dillinger, but they were like mobsters, world famous #1 mobsters, and after they died, someone had to be #1, right? Well, it was, and it was Al Brady. You want to talk about that for a second, baby?
Yeah, he did some pretty bad things. What hurts, I don't know, like, I guess there's just it's the mom, and it's a nice person in me, because he was 26 years old now, and I know that age, just because you're young, it doesn't make you, less evil, but he was just a baby. He was 26 years old, and he put himself, Mr. Al Brady, you foolish boy, you put yourself on the FBI most wanted list. And that was your legacy. It's unfortunate.
Him and his two partners, and like Heather said, they're all in their mid to late 20s.
This baby
from Indianapolis, Indiana, which is Midwest, right before Iowa. And they decided to go get some machine guns, and they didn't know where to get them. They went to New York and said, well, that can't do that. What's close to New York? Let's see. Maine. There's a bunch of redneck cowpoke in Maine, right? 1937. He went to Bangor, Stephen King country, half hour from where I live. And he went to a sporting good place, and he said he wanted a machine gun for hunting.
You don't have machine guns here, my friends.
Maine boys are like, we don't use that. But what the fuck? Are you going to have Swiss cheese deer meat? Are you crazy, you bastard? Venison, holy venison? So they said, yeah, we'll order that. Come back in tomorrow and get it. They knew something was up. Maine boys are slow, but we ain't dumb. Call the authorities, man. Went all the way up to who's the guy that went missing there? J. Edgar Hoover. Mm-hmm. You guys ever heard of J. Edgar Hoover, the head of the FBI and all that stuff? And J. Edgar Hoover almost came down, but he sent like 20 riflemen of his best to Maine, to Bangor, and they all propped up downtown Bangor on the rooftops, and they waited for him to come in and get his guns the next day, huh, Heather?
Yeah, and I don't remember if he went in first and then came back out, or if he just didn't make it in. But it was right there on the street, not right off the sidewalk, in the street. They gunned him down.
That's Al Brady,
and that's his body, the black body right there, the one in all black. There's one you see that's kind of in the middle, up there by the people. That's his partner.
But that's him
right there. I mean, look at the people. This is what gets me. Okay, he's a bad man, but why are there so many people celebrating? I don't know. I guess because they feel like.
When Lizzie Borden's parents got killed, they were all fucking walking through the house. They were saying, remember the video? Lizzie Borden, they all came in. Look at this. They're taking pictures. That's a big deal. In the 30s, they didn't have murder. And they said that was the biggest shootout in Maine's history. Maine does have a lot of Civil War ties, but when it comes to like civilian type shit, man, we're like the most civilized state in the Union. Yeah,
we pretty much keep to ourselves, really.
Maine is so chill. And when shit like that happens, dude, with America's Most Wanted, so he died in the streets. And his partner died in the streets. And the third cohort gave in, and he went back to Indiana, and he pled guilty and went to court, and then he got the electric chair, and he died like 5 months later. He got electrocuted. His partner died in the street, as you see, and he got shipped back to Indiana, his parents or whatever, and they paid for his burial.
Mm-hmm. Not Mr. Brady.
Poor Al Brady. What happened to him, Heather?
So nobody claimed him. Nobody wanted him. Was it 80 years? Before he got an actual burial it was 2007. They decided to give him a burial.
He got buried right here. It happened in 1937.
That's when he died. But he got his burial in 2007.
Well, he got buried in an unmarked grave. Mm-hmm. But he got his headstone in 2007. Mm-hmm. This is him here. Looks like
they didn't keep him out. I know he doesn't look.
Death, Bangor, Maine, age 26.
Yep, and he's buried right here.
Cemetery. He's a bad dude, man. The agents from the store returned the fire. There was gunfire returned, no civilian casualties. Schaefer, his partner, ran into the street where he fell and died a few minutes later with a .32 caliber automatic pistol in his hand, in which one shell had been fired. But in the meantime, immediately upon observing the parked car with Al Brady sitting in it, two agents approached the car, drew guns, one from each side. They informed Al they were federal agents. They ordered him to get out of the car with his hands up. Al put his hands up and started sliding into the seat and crying, don't shoot, I'll get out. And as he arrived at the door, however, he lunged out. Al Brady lunged out. Al Brady drew a gun and started firing at the agents. Fire was immediately returned upon him, and he fell dead in the middle of the street.
Mhm.
Time of the death, Al had in his hand a 38 caliber revolver, a 32, and a 45 caliber automatic. Were all on him. Ironically, the 38 revolver in his hand was the gun that he had taken from the body of the murdered Indiana State Police Paul Minnerman that he killed. So he's a cop killer.
Yeah, he's a cop killer. He made really bad choices.
I didn't read all of that, but he wow, he's a bad motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So the spot where he's killed, if you saw that sign earlier that I shared, there's a placard right in front of the dry goods store where he bought the gun. I zoomed in on it earlier, and there's a picture of me next to it from a couple years back. Me and Heather went in like 2018. Remember that, Heather?
Yeah, I remember that.
But we tracked down the gravesite, and it took us yesterday probably about an hour in the Jewish cemetery part of the Bangor.
It was
cemetery.
So hot. It was so warm, but there he is. His marked grave now. So
yeah, we left.
And people are leaving him. People leaving him coins and
same jersey. So yeah.
Yeah.
So we went to a historical site, a couple movie sites. Still kind of riding the high from Terrytown and Sleepy Hollow. Harriet Beecher Stowe's house. And you got your show back. Let's talk about that. You just came back this past Wednesday, or last Wednesday rather.
Yep, I've been back. I do it every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. So my next one will be not this week, as in tomorrow, but Wednesday the 10th and Wednesday the 24th. So August 10th and August 24th are going to be when you can catch me live on Paranormal King Radio Network, and it's all online audio. There's no visual to it, but there is a chat room that people can go into, which is a lot of fun because that's kind of where I bounce a lot of my talk off from. I really like to interact with my guests, listen to what they got to say, and answer any questions that they have. And
we have we have a lot of the same ones, Ken Bull, and then we have a lot of them. Melissa Keene, Carlos Nunez, I think, or Torres or something. But we also have a lot of new ones a lot too, which is fun. It's always fun to have new ones. It's funny. Didn't they call that a raw pig iron? Or didn't one of the descriptions say pig iron, baby, on that iron furnace?
It made the sound of a pig.
Or something like that.
When they did that, yeah. One of the information, they named it the pig, just like Nathaniel's saying. Yeah, it's I forgot what it was, but it sounded like a pig, so they named it like the pig something.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
Oh, we didn't forget you, Nicole. We said hi. What's up, Nicole? We said hi. We didn't forget you. We know you're there. You're doing your nails. Appreciate you checking in.
Nails.
So yeah. I've just been kind of doing our thing. And you know what I mean? I wasn't even going to go on tonight. I know last week I didn't, and I got messaged a couple people. Hey, no show tonight, this and that. Like I said, I don't get paid for this. This is my only gig. I do it by myself, for myself. No one helps me. I do it 100% myself. You guys can too. It's really tit. StreamYard's free. So if you guys are tuning in, I appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you guys don't like it, fucking tune off. Doesn't skin my ass one way or the other. I get it. I'm supposed to have guests and topics. And I feel like me and Heather do enough stuff literally every day to where we have topics of our own. So I appreciate you guys listening. And if you like it, let us know. Because, man, me and Heather don't just post a post. We don't just post bullshit memes and little, fucking drawing cartoon things just to post. Like, if I'm going to post on Facebook, I want it to be a spot. I want it to be educational. I want you guys to see the real good shit. So, I know you do. Nathaniel, you're going to come back on, too, because you do a lot of great work. I'm so glad you went to Madame Cherie, dude. You went to Madame Cherie's castle, you fucking bastard. I saw the picture. Nathaniel.
That's an amazing location. Talk about Madame Cherie a little bit, because I always loved that story. She was a fascinating woman with her little parties and her la-di-da life.
Yeah. What is her real name? Cherie something. I forget.
Madame Cherie. Oh, Cherie.
I forget now. I have it written down. But she was actually a costume designer for Broadway, New York. She designed costumes in the 30s and 40s around the same time Al Brady was killing people. And she retired, or I guess part-time retired, and wanted to have lavish parties and listen about her days in the nearby New Hampshire woods. It's actually where Chesterfield, New Hampshire is, where the Madame Cherie woods are. It's right on the fucking Vermont border. You actually go past it like me and Heather did. You go on the bridge and it says, "Welcome to Vermont." I go, "Oh, shit." So I had to come back. It's right there. And she built this castle in these woods that she owned, like 30, 40 acres of 50 acres of woods or whatever. And she had a little pond. There's a pond put there, but she had concrete put around it. And you could see the trail. And of course, you can just picture buggies and little old horses and old cars going to be putting through the woods there. And it was actually a very modest house. It was a mansion, but it wasn't like a big mansion. But it had a big, it was like a triple decker. And the rock foundation's still there, the old chimney. But the biggest thing is the rock staircase around the corner, which the top did collapse a little bit because people still run on it a lot and climb it. And it does have cracks going through it, but it is fucking amazing. And she threw lavish parties there. She used to drive around town in her mink coat, naked underneath with her pet monkey.
Yeah.
And I guess she was the big galore. She was the hot shit. And
she was born. She was born Antoinette Bramare, Bramare, and her and her husband moved from New York, and they changed their name to Cherie. Nobody knows why they changed their name, what the reason is behind it.
Right.
Who knows? But
well, like Nathaniel says, a madam is usually like, you know, the girl that runs the whores, the penthouse.
Yeah. Well, when her husband died, that's when she built the castle for the parties.
Right.
So she didn't get this crazy while her husband was still alive. She did do her costume making for her theater friends, but she wanted to hold parties for her friends.
I did hear things at New York and Broadway. She ran a little. Oh, let me see. She ran a little thing very quick. There's a staircase. Oh, it switched.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
It ends in midair now. Now that the castle's gone, the castle
goes to nothing.
Was burnt because of vandals. A fire in 1962 just destroyed the rest of the castle. There's a couple of bits of the foundation, but the staircase, it just ended midway. It was the staircase going up to her door. It's just amazing.
Yeah, you can see pictures of the house and shit and what led up to it and all that good stuff. Antoinette Madame Cherie Bramare, Bramare, was born in France in 1878. She was an eccentric Chesterfield resident and Manhattan costume designer. That's straight from the Historical Society of Cheshire County, which is the Cheshire Woods. So there she is. And that's her.
Yep.
And there's her house with the staircase intact.
Yep, you can see the staircase.
The rest of the house, that
stone staircase going around in that little corner. Yep. Oh,
but the staircase is there. The house is gone. There's a staircase now. And I climbed on the first 4 steps, and I said, fuck that. I'm not going to be the
Nathaniel one. went how far up did you go? He said he climbed it.
He's a thin motherfucker, though. I got a couple 100 pounds on him. Around 78, she was born. She come more as the notorious party girls in the roaring 1920s in America. In her early years, she danced in some of the trendiest clubs in France. She sang in Cabaret. Cabaret's a strip club in Massachusetts, so she probably did dabble. Back then, the girls did. They weren't ashamed to skeet their tits. They liked getting pinched on the butts. Most girls did. These burlesque girls dug that, man. Not all girls hate that shit like they think they do now.
But she had a more modest house nearby that she lived in. She used the castle for entertainment.
Oh, Nathaniel went to the top, the bastard. He almost fell.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. But yeah, she met her husband. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but she met her husband in 1911. They moved to New York. She became a Broadway designer. Her husband worked as a dancer, Andre. Her husband, Anthony Marcazzo. So I don't know who Andre is. Oh, he went by the pseudonym, Andre Rella. So he had a fake name. Shit, I didn't even know that stuff. So there's a lot of good shit. Google can be your friend, man. I tell you, a lot of things I find, I YouTube it, find other people. I just look up explorers. And if I don't already know it, then I go, here we go. Yep. Yeah, it was a cabin. It's pretty fucking wild. The downstairs basement's all got holes in it. There's one of my Facebook friends there, Mary Lentz.
Hi.
I believe she knows Betsy very well. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Just Heather and I shooting the shit. Like I said, I know everybody's got their own lives. I'm not saying we're any better, but you know us. We like to look and do anything we can that we haven't yet. That's on our list. We went to the first Wahlburgers. Wahlburgers is the Mark Wahlberg family hamburger restaurant. It's a chain restaurant.
That was delish.
How many are there in the world?
Okay, so they just opened up one in Hawaii, and I think it's the 95th location, if I read it right. 95.
Wow. Yep. And we went to the very first one where the show was filmed, where the mother was before she passed away. We did that before we saw wrestling live. We went to WWE and SmackDown, saw Brock Lesnar last Friday. And I got heat exhaustion the next day. But we went through Quincy, saw the first Dunkin' Donuts. We'll have to go back and do that. But, we did that. That was pretty good, the Wahlburger, to do that. It was a bucket list. I got a shirt. It's kind of our thing to do that stuff. As far as Maine goes, though, or even just all that stuff, I mean, we're always trying to do new shit. Just going by old buildings. I mean, I've been taking Heather for rides around my area, around Brownville, around LaGrange, around Milo, around Dexter.
The Indian townships.
Yeah, Indian townships. And there's a lot of cool shit, huh? Orville Township.
Yeah. Karina.
Little graveyards, middle of nowhere, and just little things, and just old houses, abandoned houses. How many abandoned houses and trailers have we seen?
Again,
I know it's homeless people, but goddamn.
I know it's baffling. Like, you can go up. There is numerous empty trailers, mobile homes, just sitting there, abandoned on the side of the road. There's numerous houses, and those are just on the side of the road. There's so many roads off of the main roads that you can't even really see. It's like you'd miss it if you weren't really looking for the turn, because it's just a little dirt driveway and it goes way in the woods. But there's nothing that ever really says, hey, someone lives here. They don't really advertise it. They're very,
very quiet. It's very how they live. Their yards are a mess and they don't care, because who's going to fucking correct them,
Yeah.
Nathaniel Elwell, Facebook user, thank you so much for your time, brother. Go get rest, man. I mean,
get some rest. We're going to be here, Nathaniel.
People always calling, I can't watch your whole show, or I'm late. It's all good, dude. You guys don't owe me nothing. All I really ask is that you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, and once in a while share. Adam the Historian Ghost Hunter. I have 93 subscriptions. I have like 240 friends, and I have 93 subscribers. So I know you guys aren't all subscribed. I'd appreciate that, because I don't just post bullshit. I don't just post stupid shit. I post all the adventures you're hearing right now, and I'd love to share it with you guys. I'm not a fucking filmmaker, but I'm trying to educate people and show people all these adventures, and it'd be great to have you guys check that shit out. So you can always watch it again. You're right. I also, thanks, Lilac. I actually have my Historically Haunted. I have two YouTube channels. Historically Haunted. That's for all the replays of my talk show, radio show, and this podcast. And then, of course, my adventures and Historian Ghost Hunter. Heather's got her own YouTube channel, right? The Witch and Life Guide.
The Witch and Life Guide. Yep. I have a personal one that I really haven't used, but it's like when my daughter was first born, I did a lot of videos of her. This is like 14 years ago. So YouTube was just just starting. So I have a lot of little things like that nobody really needs to worry about. But Witch and Life Guide has its own channel. And right now I've only uploaded episodes of my show, but my plan is to upload videos, because I've taken some videos of when we're out on adventures. I haven't uploaded them a lot, but I think I'm just going to. If people don't, I don't know. So if you're subscribed to me and you get a notification, then there you go. But yeah, just a way to get it off my phone, into my memory, and keep it forever.
That's what I do. I ended up putting a couple of videos, and I got like 400 videos, and I think some of my videos have reached 500-700 views, like the Ed and Lorraine Warren's grave, that abandoned mill, got like 600 views. Yeah. So this is the graveyard we went to. We went to that Katahdin Ironworks. We went down this dirt road, and it saw a American flag, and then I had this look at a little cemetery sign, and this is what we saw.
Yeah. So it's like a little stenciled KI cemetery for Katahdin Ironworks. But then it's just
and this is
on
the
side of the road, just the side of the road.
It reminds me of something out of Stephen King entrance. Like, you just walk, there's a little sign and then a trail into the woods. And then we went in and there was like 2 graves there.
Yeah. Maybe 3.
And this is one of them there. Probably can't see it that well. I got it on my Facebook page, but so you can tell it's been fixed.
It was Mahoney was on the last name, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had to use
Mahoney.
Oh yeah, it was pitch dark. I had to use the flash because we were just in the woods, and we didn't hear a sound. We didn't see a car for fucking almost an hour. Like, we could have camped out there. Like, we could have died there. Yeah, it's pretty wild shit, man. You out these places of Maine, you go, and it's like you almost want a gun because cops ain't gonna help you. There's no fucking place to go up there, man. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Lilac says feel better than Nathaniel. That's nice of you, Lilac. Yeah, I think he says he's gonna try. He's kicking his ass. And appreciate that, brother. I know the feeling. I didn't have COVID, but goddamn, that fucking heat exhaustion. I thought I was dead. So yeah. So I got my buddy from New Hampshire, Rochester, my friend Scott, that I went to Eastern State Penitentiary and H.H. Holmes' grave, and the vampire's grave in Richmond. I went to hit with all that with him. He's coming up from Rochester Friday night. He's going to spend the weekend with me. Heather's going to have some freedom away from me for a little bit. She's going to go hang out with her girlfriend, or who knows what the weather will bring. If it's 900 degrees, she ain't going to do much, but who knows? We'll see.
I do love my AC. What I'll end up doing is I'll take a ride. If it's really, really hot, I'm getting my AC fixed in my car. I know it's not like super crazy news, but let me tell you guys,
it is when you have an AC for fucking 3 months.
I love my truck. Everybody knows I love my truck. But the AC, it's an old police car, so they cranked the AC while they had it commissioned to them. And I've had it now for 3 years. And my AC just is caca this year. It worked for me fine for the first couple of years. So I'm going to be getting a recharge on Thursday. So even if it's warm, I mean, I'll still go for a ride. I love going for a ride through the beach and looking at the waves and smelling that beach water, especially if I'm feeling kind of ugh. It always helps me. So. But it's supposed to be pretty hot for sure this weekend again.
Yeah. Anybody got any questions for us? You guys feel free. I know everybody's talking and stuff. You guys got any questions? Like, ask us whatever. We're fucking open. I mean, obviously, don't get super personal. Even then, we might be like okay with it.
We might answer it.
That's one thing about me and Heather. We say this every week. We say this a lot. And we mean it. We're very easy to get along with. We're very easy. There's no rock star bullshit here. If you message either of us, we're more than likely going to get back to you within a day. And if you're in our area and you want to hang out and you want to be like, hey, let's check out some cool sites, as long as you don't want me or her, well, I can't speak for her, but for me, like as long as you don't want me to just give you info, if you want to tag along, like I don't mind actually. If you're like in an area and I'm not there and I'm like, yeah, go check that out. But if you come in my neck of the woods and you're like, I want to go someplace, and I'm like, okay, and you're like, all right, have a good day. And I'm like, wait a minute, you just wanted to use me for my info. You didn't actually want to hang out. Yeah. Like we don't want. And I'm 43. I'm going to be 43 next month. We don't need friends. We don't need a new life, but it's nice to have acquaintances and nice to have people you can trust. And I know Maine's not exactly close to a lot of people, but
no, because we're kind of like
over the past year or so, I've seen people come to Maine that I've known that have been cool with me and didn't hit me up once, and I'm like, okay, so I guess it's just Facebook friends. So,
which is fine too. But
But my door's open, man. I'm willing to share my shit. My friend's coming up. He's never Scots. He's never been. He's from Maine too. He went to Lisbon with me. Grew up. He's never really been to Bangor though. Bangor is 2 hours. Bangor's unless you go to Maine, unless you go to places in Maine, then you're not going there because it's a dead end state. So
if you're going to Canada, you'll go through Maine, but that's it.
But if you're not, if you don't need a reason to go to Bangor, you're not going to go. He's never been to Stephen King's house. He wants me to take him. He wants me to take him to the Pet Cemetery filming sites. Stephen King's filming sites, probably the National Cryptozoology Museum. So I don't mind doing that, man. They actually do tours, SK tours up there. I could probably do something like that and charge people, but I just assume hang out with someone and smoke some weed, get a burger or something. So invitations out there, everybody. And if anybody wants to come on the show and be a guest, I probably should be careful how I say that. Message me if you're interested, I guess. We'll see what happens. Because I don't mind doing it alone, whether people watching art. Lilac says she likes to harass her friends in 3D as much as possible. What's that mean in 3D? Like
in person, probably. 2D. Like I think we're 2D right now. Like
I get it. Like whoa, look like that. Whoa, I'm picking your nose. Hey, look who just checked in, Mr. Bohal, Brian Bohal. Brian is from Small Town Adventures, and he's also got his own. I keep fucking it up as a tongue twister, but it's like Parapeeps something. It's a certain name, but he does a para thing too, and he does a paranormal group. I've had him as a guest on here. He's got a lot of West Coast on lockdown. Him and CT Thomas, and he rolls with like the Searchers and Betsy and them. So thanks for checking in, Bri. Just shooting the shit today, man. I'm feeling still mixing up everything. It's still hot, so I didn't want to full on guest and have to rack my brain. So I'm taking it easy tonight with Heather. No disrespect to her, but it's a lot easier to talk to her than some person I got to try to put a front on. Which I try to get best that I talk to anyway.
Bring on September.
Who's ready for Halloween? Halloween. Yeah, fuck yeah. I can't wait, man. I love it. I love my horror movies. I love collecting movies. I love collecting Halloween stuff. I love Acid Witch. I
want to bake like shepherd's pie and lasagna and pot roast and not sweat my tits off.
Yes. Lilac's ready for Halloween. I know everybody is. I think people are sick. Even the summer people are sick of summer.
I know, right?
I always say it starts with my birthday. Labor Day, September 6th, my birthday. School starts, all that good stuff. Then fall in September. Then you go into Halloween, and then Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then New Year's, and it's cool. Awesome. Mary Elizabeth Lentz. I'll have to have you on the show. I know you're into the paranormal. Maybe on my radio show to start you off and then have you on the Vodcast or something with bits at the time. She's going to ask both of us. Heather, I'll let you go first when you get a chance.
So what, in your opinion, gave you the most haunted vibe?
On your
Right,
adventures?
that's a really
ever or just recent ones?
That's a great question. It's a great question. I'm going to say, man, I've had some haunted vibes at a lot of places. The Oliver House. Do you remember that? We went to that.
Lewis Oliver House in Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts, where
Middleborough.
Where Ben Franklin.
He found notes of treason in a closet, and it kicked off the American Revolutionary War. There was a redcoat house.
The house itself was beautiful, and I got like really
Native
cool
American burial ground out back, and people have hung themselves. And
yeah, so I got historic vibes, but the land is where I got the scary haunted vibes. The land.
You got a tick on it from
I did. I got a tick on my boob, and I took it out, but the head got stuck in there. Okay, so I went to first care. I didn't go to the emergency room or anything because there's really no emergency. But
I remember that
they treated me for Lyme disease. This big honking fucking pill. I felt sick for like a week.
I remember that. We got a picture of a Native American. We went to the basement where the Underground Railroad was a tunnel. That fucking house has seen everything from Native American burial ground to Benjamin Franklin to war efforts to the person that lived there had been forced to leave because he was a redcoat. To suicides, to murders, to deaths, to overdoses.
Anderson Cemetery, though, also gives me really haunted vibes. Anderson Cemetery.
Anderson Smith in Windham, Maine.
Yep, that's the one. It's cemeteries don't actually freak me out because they're very beautiful. They're peaceful. It's a place to show love, respect, a little sorrow, even a little happiness. You know, when you think of the memories that make you smile. But this cemetery, it's not like. It's not like I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going there again. But I
go a lot.
We do
used to.
It's so beautiful. But as soon as I'm there, my mood changes. Like I'm solemn, not bad where I can't handle it, but I'm just very in tune to the wind in the trees. Like you hear nothing but the wind of the tree. It's just because you have to be there, guys. You have to experience it.
I got over 175 cemeteries in my one folder, so I got to be patient to look at the one.
You got to be patient trying to find Anderson.
Because I have some for historic, I have some for Atlas Obscura, and I have most for documented cemeteries.
Well, while you're looking, what is your answer?
I've been over 200.
What's your answer for your most haunted vibe on your adventures?
Oh boy,
you've had a lot.
Yeah. Shoot. When I was a kid, oh boy, I got a million things going through my brain right now. I feel like I'm on the fucking Matrix.
And this is why you write your book, sir. This is why you write your book.
Yeah, I kind of want to rent out Stephen King's mansion type thing to just got off work, 106. Oh, that sucks, Brian. Good for you, man. To relax and have a joint. Lizzie Borden's, I guess I got to always go there. That's really my creme de la creme because I mean, I don't know. A lot of that is because I felt so excited too. A lot of that I might think is my own emotions. It was my first and only time there. So I try to take that away and try to focus because sometimes your emotions make you think, you know what I mean? St. Albans Asylum in Radford, Virginia. That was a rough one. Hillview Manor in Castle Rock or Newcastle. I'm sorry, Newcastle, Pennsylvania.
When you went to Eastern State Penitentiary, did you have
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
Get some haunted vibes there too, huh?
In Death Row. We didn't see Sparky. That was taken out. But we went by
that's the electric chair.
The old Sparky, yeah. But we did go by the medical area, and of course, I did go on death row. And even though people actually didn't die on death row, maybe some did of old age or whatever. Of course, they didn't die right there. You had to go to the chair. They didn't die in their cell. You imagine the intense sorrow of being in a fucking cell for 6 months, knowing you're going to get the chair, knowing that I don't care if I feel good or bad. No one cares if my stomach hurts, my appendix. Yeah. I'm going to die. Like, my last meal. That's your biggest thing is your fucking last meal. Like, I honestly, as much as my car accident and everything else with death, I really don't want to know. I don't want to know my future.
So back to the story of Al Brady, the number one.
Speaking of Al Brady, we got Brady Gobble.
Oh, and speaking of Brady, hello, Brady.
And from Chasing Paranormal. Hello, all.
So think about him and his partner. He died on the street. His partner went to prison for 5 months and got the electric chair. What's better?
See, that's what I thought about too. This guy gave up, put his hands up, said, "Don't shoot." I put his guns down. Sure, he goes back and lives 6 more months high off the horse in a cell for free with free medical care and food. But then you're gonna get sentenced to death.
It's tough. And
I would have
again,
rather die with my boys in the streets. I would have rather die with dignity right there. Honestly, I'd have been like, "Fucking shoot me, copper. You ain't got the balls, you rat bastard." I would have made them shoot me, because if my 2 buddies are fucking down, and I know what. Think about that. If I get caught, dude, especially in a gunfire thing, and we're cop killers, I'm getting the fucking chair. Come on.
yeah,
So
you're not going to be like, oh, they'll let me go, and I'll have family, and I'll go. No, and then what life? I don't know. It's interesting how people what makes that connection to I'm going to do a life of crime, as in I'm going to speed every day, or a life of crime as I think I'm going to go kill somebody.
That's what's deterred me from big time shit. I've never actually even stole nothing. I mean, maybe as a kid I took a piece of gum.
Like everybody tries. Yeah, you're feeling your
like
shit out. Yeah. I've never been. I was in the back of a police car one time, and that was as a teenager. And it wasn't to be arrested. It was because my mom was looking for me, and I wasn't letting her know where I was. So they helped bring me back to her. So other than being a shitty snot-nosed teenager. I'm not gonna, as an adult, I have seen people steal things from stores. I've seen that, and I felt like, okay, I'm not stopping them. Am I a part of it? But then, how do I don't want to put my nose in every little thing. I don't want to sit there and try to fix every single thing, But yeah.
Yeah, I gave up on that. I used to be the Good Samaritan. I was the Boy Scout, and I used to go, and if someone was, and I still will, if someone's in front of me, they're 40 cents cheap, I'll pay for it. I guess I kind of pick and choose, but I try so hard just to mind my own fucking business.
My fear is somebody's going to, freak out either on me or around me. I don't like confrontation, so I try to just avoid things, but at the same time, avoiding isn't always the best way to solve our problems, but it's, we live and we learn.
No, moving up north is.
Yeah, that gets away a lot of, definitely the traffic.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I can leave my trailer, get Dunkin' Donuts, get some groceries, get a full tank of gas and a car wash, and still be back before it takes most people to get to Dunkin' Donuts and get their food. There's literally the population is cut in half. It's so slow poke up there.
Because he had 2, maybe 3 people in front of him at the Dunkin' Donuts next to his house. So I thought he was going to have a heart attack.
I'm like,
because he's like, what's going on? This doesn't happen here. What's happening?
I'm like, I'm always first in line. There's no one ever up here, but it's a weekend. You guys ever hunt for cryptids? You know what's funny, Brian? Great question. And you know that. You know the answer, you bastard. You're just asking because that's a great question. And you know we do. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We were actually looking for UFOs last night.
A couple nights ago, I was coming back to go to Heather's, and I saw a silver thing in the sky around Dexter, Maine, and it fucking danced back and forth and then just literally vanished. And it was I don't know, the size of a walnut. Of course, it was way far away, and it was silver as silver can be. It looked like a fucking mirror in the sky. It almost looked like a cloud. It was so white and clear, and it was gone. And where we are now, like I was telling Heather, we're in Bigfoot Wendigo country, and we're definitely UFO country. The Adirondacks, I'm sorry, the Allagash River, where people go fly fishing in Maine, is actually a beer named Allagash because of it. There's a lot of UFO sightings, Bigfoot sightings, Wendigo sightings, and flying bird pterodactyl sightings in that area.
I'm constantly, as we're driving down the road, I'm always looking at the trees. And I even said that to you. I'm like, look, that one, a Bigfoot, he broke it. Because it was way up high where the whole tree was just broken.
Yes,
I don't know.
Tree.
And then
there are some big motherfuckers by our area. The porcupines are bigger. There's big bats. There's moose. There's deer. There's moose and deer crossing signs.
You can't tell me we have seen everything.
If you take a left out of my driveway and go towards Brownville, and you're pretty much in Brownville, Maine, and you're driving around this area, and it's like Lakeview Township or something. Townships don't have anything. They don't have post offices. The township is there's a lot of Indian. There's a lot of Abenaki and Barefoot Native Americans and other Piscataqua Indians and shit in Maine. Mm-hmm. They live miles up the road from me. I mean, you see people on horseback and shit. I literally live in cryptid country, UFO country. You could be sitting in the stars. Last night we're sitting by my big pot plants, 10 feet tall, by my fucking fire. Me and Heather having a drink. and we're stargazing. So the Big Dipper, saw UFOs. I think we saw a couple fucking flying satellites.
Yeah.
But you see
Yeah.
the
Had to be
whole
some
sky,
satellites.
Heather, huh? I mean, everything.
Yeah, it was pretty. There was no light pollution. Not because like I grew up. I know
Amen,
not many
Lilac.
people know Maine, but I grew up in the biggest city. I think Portland's the biggest city in Maine, right? So it's not a big.
Population-wise, yep.
Yeah, it's not a big city, but there's literally you're not going to be stargazing in Portland. You know,
They have
you can see them, but there's just a lot of lights, a lot of street lights, a lot
there's
of
skyscrapers, there's sky towers. They're
yeah,
not
I think
fucking New York, but
we have. I think our tallest is 18 stories.
it's a time
If
and
that-
temp building.
Actually, let me figure out the tallest, our tallest building, and I'll let you know.
Portland,
because-
Maine, which is named after, actually was originally Casco. That's why it's Casco Bay. It was burnt down by the British in 1774, 75 during the Revolution. It's funny, a British soldier killed an American soldier in Casco Bay, and they're both buried next to each other in Eastern Cemetery in Portland. Maine's
Mhm.
oldest cemetery, 1636. And they're buried. There's a British flag, American flag, and they're buried in above ground tombs. And they're seen fighting at night and bickering in old attire by their coffins, by their crypts, their ghosts. But yeah, it was named Casco. Then it was named Falmouth, and then it was 1852, 4th of July, fireworks burnt down 3/4 of the city. So they named it Falmouth, and then they renamed it Portland after the Isle of Portland in United Kingdom or Europe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's so crazy. Hey, so you know the Franklin Towers in Portland? Those are the tallest you're thinking of?
Yep.
That's only number 7 in Maine as the tallest. And that's 16 floors.
Are they all in Portland though? Must be.
Nope. Biddeford. You're not gonna get this one. You'll appreciate this. Remember, in Biddeford is the tallest building in Maine. It is the church. Do you remember when we were driving by this church and
the red
they were
one.
out there doing getting ready to be married, and I was like,
Yeah,
"You
yeah.
are beautiful."
All the African girls, yeah.
That church there. Oh my God, these girls were gorgeous. Their skin was just
It looked like something out of a
gorgeous
rap
color.
video. Oh my God. Even the guys were all sitting back drinking champagne and shit. and they're all
Yeah,
just
with the
shaking their
gold
ass.
chains, and the girls had their hair done. You could
Even Heather's like, oh damn.
you could eat a steak off their asses. It was like they looked amazing. So, anyways, that building is the tallest building in Maine, babe.
Son of a bitch.
No kidding, huh?
And well, that tower in Baldwin
Yeah.
is the tallest structure in the world,
Yeah.
or it was for a little bit, and then that's in Maine, so that's pretty fucked.
Yeah, it's 230 feet high, only 3 floors, so it doesn't have as many floors as the Franklin Towers, which is
Right.
shorter. You know what I
What's
mean?
that?
It's just because of the steeple.
This is the
So,
church, and this is the steeple. Open the door.
Yeah, and
here's
then-
the people.
And Lewiston has number 2, the Agora Grand Event Center. That's number 2 in Maine, in Lewiston.
I've heard things about cryptids, Bigfoots, aliens, all that shit. From what I hear, Bigfoot. This is a crazy theory. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and stuff like that are old versions of us, and aliens are future versions of us. It's like the really hairy Neanderthals.
And
Hairless,
isn't
we're like the middle.
like they put Bigfoot in the same category as like Saint Nicholas, the person, you know what I mean? Not the folklore, the same family tree type of thing.
Right. I don't know what that means, Betsy. I know I don't count, but I think they do. I don't know what that means.
Let's see. I know I don't count, but I think they do. What were we saying?
I
What
don't
were we
know.
saying, Betsy?
I know I don't count, but I think they do. Oh, I think they do. I don't know. I don't
Do you
know.
think they're related? Do you think they're
Oh, I know I don't count. Oh, Betsy's got a little bit of self-pity. Come on, Betsy. Don't be
I
like
know
that.
I don't count, but I think they do. Either way, yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
I think that
that's good. I mean, yeah, a lot of people do. I think,
cryptids, Bigfoot, UFO, ghosts.
I consider the paranormal umbrella anyway. When I say I'm a paranormal investigator, I'm into everything from unsolved mysteries, documented murders, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot, the Bermuda Triangle. I mean, but that's just me, I guess. I mean, I'm into exploration too. I want all of it. I want it all. I want to
Not
find
it.
out, you know. Not
Just
it. You're a brat, Betsy Lou. Betsy and Nicole going back and forth. I appreciate you guys. You guys are always pretty constant, though. It's good.
Yeah, they're adorable. Yeah, absolutely.
See, towards the end of the show, we always get
huge
more fucking
supporters.
views. We had 3 the whole show, and now we get 7, but that's fine. We can keep going.
I
I'm
think
not worried
it's
about it.
I mean, it is what it is.
So yeah, so we went to America's Most Wanted. Al Brady, cop, killer, thief, went to his murder site and his burial site. We went to the first vice president, Republican vice president in American history, and also the vice president to Abraham Lincoln, Hannibal Hamlin. Went to the couch that he had a heart attack and died on. That's on You can see it in the Bangor Public Library. Went to that. Went to where he's buried. And we've been to where he's fought at Fort McClary before in Kittery, too. We did that, you and I. But, man, Mount Hope Cemetery in Bangor is pretty wild.
It's got a lot of notable things in it.
Yeah. There's
It's just a bee in her face.
Betsy's gonna be in her face. Of course, there's a lot of, like I said, Stephen King shot a movie there. He was standing there as a reference. That was pretty cool. We still gotta go to where the real Pet Cemetery is, which is in like Hancock. That's where the house is too. We gotta go to Ellsworth, where the town hall is. That's where the guy that got hit by the truck in the beginning, he had his brain leaking out. That's where he was brought up. We gotta do that. We got to go to the rock quarries where Judd and him climbed on the rock quarries. And we got to go to Acadia National Park where the burial ground was there, where they put the rocks up. So we still got like 8 sites to go to. It's not even close to over. But we've been to the Bangor Airport where the Langoliers were. We've been to Graveyard Shift fucking mill, Barnstable Mill in Harmony, Maine. You know, the inspiration for trucks, a.k.a. Maximum Overdrive. Look, the truck stop, Dysart.
If you guys are Stephen King fans, you know how there's like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon? I'm going to do 7 degrees of Stephen King right now. And just hear me out.
I don't know what that means.
Stephen King, it's okay. Stephen King ate at this restaurant called Dice Hearts. He came up with this vision for Trucks, which is his book. And then it was turned into the movie Maximum Overdrive.
Which is based on Truck, which Trucks was a movie too.
Yeah.
But
which is based on Trucks. And what were we saying right before this?
He ate at this restaurant because it's right down from the University of Orono, where he met Tabitha, his wife. And that's where he went to college. He's a Maine boy, man. He grew up in Durham. He went to the same high school as me. It's a fact. Look it up. He went to Lisbon High School. So we have a lot in common. And he used to eat here because it was a 24/7 truck stop. Like 1957 is when it started for lumberjacks and for truckers.
Yeah.
And he ate there because the food's fucking delicious. Me and Heather have been there 3 times, and it's phenomenal. That's so good.
Oh, and I remember
it's
why I was saying
bro,
this.
And it's fucking done, and it's cheap.
So
it's like, what?
This truck stop is delicious. Okay, now
and there's truck stops and gas stations all up through West Southern Maine, like Bangor. There's Dice Hearts everywhere. They just don't have restaurants. This is the first one, and it's a big one. And there's fucking thousands of trucks. There's a Mac dealer across the street, and when you're in there eating, you literally there's like 18 pumps, and there's just trucks going around. And he was eating and saw the trucks going around, and thought to himself, "What if they held me hostage in here? What if the trucks didn't have drivers because it was at night? You couldn't see them. You start moving a lot of false or a lot of fantasies based on truth. Got to come from somewhere.
You tell me real life isn't
and said,
scary.
"Fuck, let's make a movie of trucks that take over, and let's put Emilio Estevez in it."
We made you.
Yeah. So, the green alien truck. That's pretty cool. Remember the green truck with the red eyes in the beginning?
Yeah.
You know, and that actually was filmed, I believe, in Texas. But this is where he ate.
Yeah.
Like we talked to the waitress, and she comes in once in a while.
So here's the 7 degrees of Stephen King. Because of this whole lore and what brought us to Dice Hearts, it introduced us to this other couple, this lovely old lady and this lovely man up in mid-Maine. They're Sonia and Jack, I believe. And they do the commercial to sell the food for this truck stop. And now they can't do this commercial for the life of them. The man, he can't say this name. He's trying to say
it's the line.
The line. He can't say the line. It's flaky, buttery, flaky crust. He can't say it. So this thing was so huge that Saturday Night Live did a spoof.
Will Ferrell played him. I
suggest if you guys want a good laugh, I want you to Google buttery flaky bloopers first. And watch that lovely couple. Okay, they're adorable. We will meet them someday. You will see us with a picture of them someday. So definitely look it up, and then Google the SNL skit that they did.
Hold on a minute.
Are you doing it?
I'm trying to.
I love it. Nothing gets me going like this.
What? You hear it?
Yeah.
She gets so mad at him.
She gets so mad.
Listen.
Here we go. Baked on a buttery, crispy crust. Flaky, I like flaky on here. You should have that cue card up there.
Cue card up there.
Baked on a buttery, crispy crust.
All right, so pull up the SNL one real quick. Let them do the whole thing. Let them watch the whole thing. This is hilarious. Lilac watched it. She remembers that. She remembers when that came out.
She does it. Hold on. So she's like, I can do better than you. They've been going every year for like 30 years when I try to catch them. Yeah, he can't do it.
He loves it. She's so positive she can get it, and she fucks up too. And he's like, yeah.
So this is where we are claim to fame. It's not historic. It's not haunted. But we're gonna meet this couple because they're local lores. This is them on Saturday Night Live.
Will Ferrell is the guy.
Hold on.
Based on property pastry pie. Baked in a crispy pastry flap.
They do so good.
Can I do it?
We've raised 5 boys and some girls.
That's a little
Why
off
can't we
subject,
say the line? It's so good. It's so good. Anyways, that was off topic. That's 7 Degrees of Stephen King. Bring you right back.
But that's basically where he would eat. So we've been to University of Maine. I want to go into the campus a little bit because that's where him and her used to walk. Been to his house, been to his neighbor's house, been to his childhood home in Durham, been to the pond that gave him the leech scene for Stand By Me when we went swimming. Been to the railroad tracks that inspired the bridge scene. And I've been to the church. Me and Heather been by the church that he preached at. He also attended it, but he preached sermon a couple times.
Yeah, he was it a pastor, minister? What did they call him?
He was a
just
pastor.
Just a clergy,
Father,
just a pastor? Yeah.
But Steve, freaking UFO Fred, dude. Fred Richards, howdy, y'all.
Sharp dress Fred.
So there's also the Barrens where they all hang out with they go swimming and stuff. That's in Bangor. We got to get there. But I went to the sewer drain on Jackson Street in Bangor where he stopped at the stop sign and looked down and thought, what if a clown's head was looking up at me? And that's what gave me inspiration for Pennywise was the storm drain. Been to the standpipe, which holds like 3 million gallons of water, where they get the inspiration where all the dead bodies came out of and shit. And that's where the guy was carrying.
Yeah, and if you remember, in the one that came out, chapter 2 is when he was holding it. Was it chapter 2?
No, it was the first one.
The first one
because he meets what's her face. He's like, "Oh, aren't you in my science class?" It's the fat kid. I can't think of his name.
That's right. He
holding
meets her.
Standpipe. It's got the white standpipe and it's got the flag on top, just like the real one. So I've been there. That's pretty wild. And there's a lot of Easter eggs in Bangor. There's a lot of little things. Even like the Shiloh they talk about in Durham. That's talked about in Stand By Me. So King's got a lot of good shout outs. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. Like I said, we did go to Sleepy Hollow. Went look for the Headless Horseman.
We will be back.
Urinal SK. Not many can say that. You're right. Dude, we had the same homeroom teacher. Prudence Grant was his English teacher. And she told me, she goes, I told him then, and I mean it. He'd never amount to nothing. And I still think his work sucks. I don't know if she's alive anymore. Prudence Grant. I swear to fucking God. Lisbon, Maine. Lisbon High School. Go Greyhounds. That was his English teacher, my homeroom teacher in fucking 12th grade. And she thought he was worthless. And she's just a bitty old lady, like a witch, but she was too big for a broom.
Well,
and,
I find that people don't like other people succeeding.
Well, because she probably didn't want him to, and he did. She goes, I'm like, you're his English teacher. You could get the credit for it.
I know. Be nice. And he'd be like, that English teacher of mine.
No,
she made me who I am.
He said he'd donate money if they named the school after him. They didn't. I guess he wanted to do graveyard shift to the Rumble Mill before it burnt down. They wouldn't do it. Now it burnt down, but the Barnstable Mill's still up, so you tell me. So, whatever, dude. Stephen King's the fucking shit. If you're gonna follow people and shit in life, man, I want to fucking follow him. He's inspired so many people, and he's all the ghost real or not, like, dude. If it comes to whatever, like, yeah, Stephen King. Come on, guys.
Think about when we were children. We had Carrie, we had Stand By Me, we had Christine, we had Salem's Lot, Graveyard Shift. This is what we how we kept ourselves entertained. We just had Stephen King books because I'm sure Stephen King was popular around the country, but here in Maine, they're handing it out to you. They're like,
but you got to admit, being from Maine, you're not really known to make it. Not that you have to make it to live, but it's like, no one's going to want me for anything. I'm from Maine. I'm not going to make the movies. I'm not going to make TV. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. Fucking Stephen King. He made it. Yeah. I mean, you got Bill Swift, baseball player, and you got Mike Bordick, and you got
there's a few.
But for the most part, dude, you know what I mean? You got Longfellow. You know,
Yep. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow.
it's been a long time, but I think
the Twilight Girl, not Kirsten Stewart,
but
but
I mean,
her friend
Stephen King is a whole new
Anna
level,
Kendrick.
especially when it comes to Pennywise. People live and die by that shit, especially when it comes to Pennywise. I love all his movies. Sleepwalkers are great. Christine is fucking phenomenal, but people love Pennywise because you can buy it. It's a clown. You can wear it.
And for all you authors out there, have you seen the size of this man's books? They're hefty. He puts work, effort.
Yeah, I haven't met him yet, Nicole. No, I've gone in front of his house. I've waited. I'm still going to try to go and wait. I'd love to interview him. I'd love to get him on my show, but never met him. We did meet Dan Aykroyd. If I had my podcast, then I bet you we'd go on. We talked for a little bit about Benny and Barney Hill, UFO abductees from New Hampshire.
A family podcast? Sure.
Oh, Dan was cool. Give us a hug. He smelled like oranges, man.
It takes a lot for me to not be able to say anything, but I couldn't peep one word. He looked down at me like waiting for me to say something, and I just looked up at him like, and he just looks down at me like,
Dan Aykroyd. Oh yeah, family.
And I'm like, and so we just spoke without words, and I'm like, that'll be my memory. I spoke to him, but we didn't, because that's mine shit. We spoke without words, and it was great, and I love that.
We're gonna have Crystal Skull the way he has it with a slice of orange. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for.
I have an unopened bottle of Crystal Head vodka that's distilled 3 times over Herkimer diamonds.
Can you explain the whole process?
Signed by Dan Aykroyd. I'm not opening it until the time is right. What time will that be? I don't know. Something will happen, and I'll be like, here we go. We're opening this shit right now.
Yep.
I just don't know when that's going to be.
All right, so we're gonna wind it down. It's getting over. We're losing people. So yeah, basically we've me and Heather have done a lot in the past month and a half. We've been to, like I said, let's name drop some shit. The birthplace of the cheeseburger, hamburger, I should say. Lou's Lunch in Connecticut, 1895, documented by the United States Congress as being the birthplace of the hamburger.
I still have it, Nicole. Yeah, it's unopened right now. I'll keep it once I drink the vodka. I'll still keep the bottle because it has a signature.
So Nicole, the bottle itself of the vodka in the skull, the glass skull, is like $35, and it was $35 to have him pre-sign the. Well, he signed the bottles there, so he signed them. He didn't sign them in person, but he signed like 100 of them or whatever it was. So $35 gets you the bottle, which what you would have paid anyway, but you get to get it signed. And you get to go up there and take a selfie and spend about 3 to 5 seconds with Dan fucking Aykroyd in Peabody, Massachusetts. It was at
I know. I'll save you a shot, Nicole. But yeah, that's the skull. It's in the box still.
The autograph's up top.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no certificate of authenticity, but we don't give a shit because it's never leaving us. It's never leaving us. It don't matter.
Right. No one's taking it.
There's certain things in life that you don't need it to be. I don't need to prove to anybody that I met him. I get the picture and I got that, and that's good enough for me. I know what I got, and it's Dan fucking Aykroyd. And what's up,
You're
Timmy?
welcome.
Moody says hi. So that was a trip. I love being more through the years lately. I've been more humble, and a lot of people don't excite me, especially in the paranormal field, and certain people don't really do it for me. But professional wrestlers, certain musicians, and certain actors do it for me. I met Kane Hodder, who played Jason Voorhees. I've loved Jason Voorhees since I was a kid, so that was big for me. Bill Moseley, who's in Rob Zombie's movies. I've met Rob Zombie. And Dan Aykroyd is, of course, Ghostbusters, Blues Brothers, Coneheads, all that shit.
Nothing but trouble.
But, of course, Ghostbusters is what it comes down to. I'd love to meet Bill, too, Bill Murray, all of them, even Winston.
And it's not just that he plays a Ghostbuster on TV, my friends. That's his life.
Dan's got a lot of background too. Dan's, if you listen to him on Joe Rogan and stuff, he grew up in a haunted farmhouse that his parents own in Canada. He's very much into aliens. He's so educated into aliens and cryptids. Mm-hmm. I told him that we met Judy Spera and Lorraine, and he's like, "Didn't one of them die, or both of them die? Lorraine died." I go, "Yeah, Lorraine just died." We met Annabelle.
Oh, sure, that was a nice lady.
He knew all about that. Yeah, Nothing But Trouble was an awesome movie, Tim. We just watched some movie filming sites of that earlier.
Yeah.
But so so we had a good week, man. We like I said, we did that. We went to Terrytown and Sleepy Hollow. Got to see the Headless Horseman Bridge. Got to see the Bridge of the Cemetery. Got to see some really historical sites where Cannonball was fired. I actually purchased the 1821 4th edition copy of the 1819 original book Still done by Washington Irving, the same author, for America's first real author to make it overseas. And I bought his list of short stories that's got Rip Van Winkle and the Legend of Sleepy Hollow in it. It's valued at about $500 for the pair, and I paid $250 from an antique book dealer.
Yeah. And it's only going to go up in value.
Yeah, I got it in my safe. I got it in my safe locked up because it's a nice piece of American literature that I don't even dare open. But I had to have it.
Wouldn't you shit? Because obviously you're not going through page for page. Wouldn't you shit if there was like his signature in there?
I kind of skimmed through because I wanted to see. Because the thing is, dude, they didn't have publicists back then. You know, if he had these books, he did it by hand and he sold them by hand. He probably touched this fucking thing. Washington Irving is like, he's like Edgar Allan Poe. He's like H.P. Lovecraft, Stephen King. He's a horror author. He's a life author. He's very much up there. And it was a trip to see his whole thing. I'm Lil Devil. You're Bobo, Tim, and I'm the Lil Devil.
They're both adorable.
I'm Bobo. I'm Bobo. And Tim, Lil Devil. Diane.
Oh my God, that's such a great
One of them
movie.
is Dan Aykroyd, believe it or not. Plays one of them.
The train that brought the condiments around the table and the food, the hot
dogs.
I
see there with this pickle shooting thing. Oh, look who's joining us a little late to the table.
Oh, Miss Alex. Hi, sweetheart.
I believe Heather did message you. She'd love you to be a guest on her show in a couple weeks, Alexandria, I believe, still. So if you get a chance, message Heather back. She'd love to have you on.
Yeah, we're talking.
I think. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah. And of course, meeting up in Salem soon for your big, your big you and medium Kenneth Drake and psychic medium Alexandria Sarr doing a little tour. And
what a great time to go.
Yeah.
To where you guys are going. What a great time of year.
Was it Danvers, right? It's a Danvers
area.
It's
Quincy.
Birthplace of John Quincy Adams, and John Adams, president, and Martha Adams is buried, and the first Dunkin' Donuts in America is there as well. So she asked us, they said we can have a table there, so we're going to do a meet and greet there too. We'll have that more to come, guys. You guys can come and meet us, do some selfies and all that good shit.
It'll be fun, so much fun.
And then we're going to take them out.
It's a beautiful city.
We're going to go find some great shit and break in Kenneth Drake. I love talking to them.
Right, because Alex, you've been to Salem, but not Kenneth, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes.
He's from Alabama.
But he's never been hunting. But he's never been like exploring.
Oh goodness, it's so fun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See. Yeah, he goes, but he just doesn't kind of go through. So we can go to Danvers or Rebecca Nurse. We can go to the parsonage where the Black Witch Tituba was brought in. We have to go to the parsonage. That's like the parsonage
if anybody
that's
says
ground
to
zero.
Me, bring me to your one Salem spot that I have to see, you're gonna start there. That's where you start.
Fuck the voodoo shops and the little tattoo shops and the little stage shops are all great.
Yeah,
but
getting your vampire fangs, all that stuff. It's great. It's amazing. The shops there are amazing, and definitely support the city so it can keep going. But go to these sites that are right out of the city because it was all Salem back
paranormal
then.
Guys, movie guys, all that good shit, show offs. God love them. They all go to Salem. Historians, witches. Creatures of the Night, we go to Danvers. That's Salem.
Salem's pretty, but it's like in Salem where they have the shops. To me, that's like the Hollywood type of Salem, which is great because they have the Bewitched statue. They have all of the amazing. The Witch Museum's amazing. Yes, those are amazing.
And then the Witch Museum's great. That's built in an old church. The Witch House is phenomenal.
The Witch Museum's amazing.
Hawthorne Hotel. Hawthorne Hotel is where Elizabeth Montgomery stayed and shot Bewitched. I love all that stuff too. Like, I'm not knocking it. Like I said, I love to go downtown. And I love to dance around with the guys dressed like Jason Voorhees and the Hocus Pocus girls. I love all that shit, the Bewitched statue. But the historical stuff that doesn't get a lot of love, the parsonage, Ground Zero.
I would love to see what they feel like.
Girls were sick and crazy. We're there. And it's just an open plot that a guy mows.
Mm-hmm. So gorgeous. And it's not talked about a whole lot, the parsonage.
No. Well, you can't buy T-shirts there.
That's true.
You know. And then you go back to the Walgreens where the memorial is off Proctor's Ledge, and there's not a lot there. But that's where I go. And that's where I get my feelings. That's where I listen. That's where I wait. I whisper. I try to look to see, because people from the town could see the girls and guys, the witches, as it were, hanging from their houses. It wasn't up the hill then. It was right there in plain view. People have already said it. That's a whole nother show.
So
Yes, someone set the Satanic Temple on fire. I heard about that.
I'm looking it up right now, actually, to see if I can
Yeah.
find the answer to that, Alex, because
I believe an 1863 funeral home, Victorian Mansion funeral home is what that originally was. And now it's the world headquarters, world temple for the Satanic cult.
so gosh, it was he was caught on Ring camera. What an idiot. He's from Chelsea. He's from that area who arsoned, lit it on fire. I wonder if it is. I feel like it looks like they did it on the porch. That's where he said it. I'm trying to see how bad it could have been, and if they said they're going to reopen it. But they got right on camera, perfectly good camera. And I'm looking at the fire trucks there in some respond videos. It doesn't look like it's really super bad.
Nicole asked a question. I think this is a question you're talking about, Nicole. It says, do you have a favorite haunted item or not? And that might be the question you were asking for. Get a little hidden up there with all the
That's a good question. No, I didn't see that question actually. Do you have items? You take things from, I don't want to say it that way because it sounds bad. If it's not if it's not a hollowed ground or a dark place.
Well,
Go ahead.
I do get a footstone from a grave that I bought for $200. I got a footstone. I don't know if it was replaced or what, but it's from an antique store, and it's a marble footstone. I got that in my podcast room in my trailer. I do get a brick that I actually was given, didn't even ask for, from Herman Webster Mudgett, or maybe you guys might know him as H.H. Holmes, Howard Henry Holmes, America's first documented serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
People think it's Jack the Ripper. His home in Gilmington, New Hampshire, I went to back in 2018, and the person living there knew what I was there for, and she was really sweet, and she was doing the new brickwork, and she goes, these are the original bricks right here. She had a pile. She goes, do you want one? I go, are you serious? She goes, don't do any satanic rituals. I go, oh, no, never. And I got it, and it's all brick with like a little bit of concrete. And I remember a guy from a band when I sang in the band Culling the Herd, the guy from Bloodborne, and Nathaniel, the singer. He asked me, he goes, give me a chunk of that, and I'll tell you about my haunted house in Parsonfield. So I gave him a little chunk of the brick, and he told me where his house was in Parsonfield, and I went. It was an abandoned schoolhouse, and that was right next to the Parsonfield Seminary. It was pretty neat. That's a funny story. So they say that's haunted. I don't know, man. Like my doorbell goes off sometime. I mean, I don't think that's haunted. I don't think if I do, I get it. I got things, all of my crystals. I got my sage, you know, I got my holy Bibles. I got all that stuff on there.
And and it's I don't know if I have
the rosaries from my dead grandparents that they had in the coffin that I was given. I have that. I have a bullet from Gettysburg.
I have heirlooms from my mom where I feel like she would have been attached or connected to. I just don't feel like I have an item that I feel like needs to be contained. Because it's so, you know what I mean? I guess I haven't
seen any proof of that. I got my Chucky doll, which obviously is a toy, but I keep my eye on things. And of course, I always look for signs of my mom, which I usually see in dragonflies and cardinals. But as far as in my house and shit like that, I don't know. And I don't know that I want that. I know that's the thing now, is to have haunted dolls and haunted things. But if this shit really is haunted, it's not a showpiece, dude. If it's legit haunted and satanic, I'm sorry, but you wouldn't have it.
Yeah,
there's things, or it would possess you. If you have it, you're not a fucking reverend, dude. Ed Warren was a cop and went through great lengths to talk to the Catholic Church and demonologists. 99% of you, unless you're Chris McKennell, none of you fucking guys are that close. So you say you have haunted dolls? I'm sorry, but I call bullshit. Prove me fucking wrong. Because you got a video of something falling through something. What you're doing is lying. You're feeding shit to people, and you're trying to get money. And I'll fucking call you out on it. Because if you have that bad of a haunted item, you're not going to fucking own it. You're not Ed Warren, dude. You're not fucking the Pope Francis. You're fucking Joe Smith, who works at the cardboard company down the street, and you got a kid and a half because your old lady's got a kid. And you're not going to have a possessed fucking Annabelle doll because it's fucking cool. You're a bullshitter. Yeah. Fucking call me out on it. Message me. Let's talk. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm so sick of that watered down haunted doll. Because it's old and creepy. It's haunted. Get your fucking head out of your ass. You guys are
okay. On that point, okay. Dumb, anything you're gonna give energy to, you're gonna create that.
No, thing. Man.
If you put in your head and you give your energy to this doll freaks me out.
No.
This doll. Then that doll's gonna freak you out.
Right here. She got a brick from a graveyard, a haunted house, and returned it. I've had some shit. I took a piece of a witch grave in Western Cemetery. Some think it's a bishop, it's a witch. They don't know it's a cross. It's in Latin. I took a rock trying to be a cool guy, and shit happened. And I brought it back with a fucking note saying, "I'm sorry, I took that." So if it is bad, but like Alexandria now, good point for Alexandria Sarr. She has ghosts. There is ghosts in her house. There's hauntings. I believe in that. But when I talk about a haunted item, to me, that shows like bad intent. That's like a bad thing.
And if you're making money off your haunted item.
When I see like people doing like haunted item $500, I'm like, that's fucking horse shit. You can't prove it's haunted, for one, and for two, why the fuck would you sell that to anybody?
But I do believe there are. But I do want to say, I do believe there are haunted items. I do believe there are things that do have bad energy attached to it. But that's where I believe you get rid of it. You don't hold on to it and display it, and you just don't.
And if you do have a haunted doll, and like your boyfriend leaves you, or your husband dies, or your work fails, or your friends don't talk to you, and you feel like shit, then guess what? It's time to get rid of it. Is it really worth the Facebook post? Is it really worth conventions?
Let's call it,
shit? Come on, guys.
What about spring cleaning? We do spring cleaning, so spring clean your haunted shit out when shit goes bad. So I mean, that's a really good question, and I just don't think. I mean, there's been things around my house that I'm like, I'm not feeling this anymore, and that's when I will get rid of it. But I don't think I have any haunted items, to be honest.
I think a lot of people are drinking the Kool-Aid. I think people see orbs and something moves and they automatically go haunted. I used to be like that, dude. I used to be a weekend warrior, and if something happens, it's ghosts, it's a ghost. Oh. And come on, guys, because that takes away credibility, man. That waters down the field, and if you think everything is haunted, I'm not going to believe anything. I'm not, people go, I see demons all the time. You're a fucking liar, dude. And I don't want people like that in my life. I don't care if people like me or not.
It's not something to be proud. I mean, seeing a demon, that's like,
dude, I've never seen mortuaries. I've been in tubs where people committed suicide. I've been in water therapy tubs and mental asylums. I've been to murderers' grave sites and murder people's grave sites. I've been to fucking houses. I've been to cemeteries at 1 a.m, and I've been to fucking powder mills where 19 people died in explosions. I've been to good and bad places, and it's all about you have the power to let this shit absorb you, man. And if you go in looking for it, dumbly doofly crossing your fucking fingers, burning sage, thinking you're helping, you're gonna make it worse, man. I don't know. What the fuck do I know? That's why I do my own thing, because I don't agree with a lot of people do, sitting there with these beeper things and shit. I just can't do it. So me and Heather quietly go to places, historical places. Oh, very well historical, very well haunted, and we go alone and we post about it after.
When I was a child, I was touched. I don't know if I think I was at them, but looking back, I know every time when I go to bed a lot, when I'm alone, I feel a hand just touching me, and I'm never scared of it, but I felt it since I was a child. So to me, it was never really paranormal, but it's something that it just, you don't go looking for, but I've never really seen anything demonic. And nor do I want to. I don't want to go. I don't want to find anybody.
We get into this, man. We were gun ho. We want to do the pizza parties and the big group hunts and the fucking.
We were looking for connections. We were looking for connections with people,
but we backed off. We're kind of like, it just doesn't seem so pure. It seems like it's a peacock contest, and everybody thinks they know what's up, and everybody's got the answers. And I just don't care. We just don't care. We just want to find historical haunted things that not 900,000 people have gone to. My biggest rush is going to a place that I know no one on my friends list has been to, and I'm willing to bet if you're on my friends list, most places that I post you probably haven't heard of, aside from like, I guess obviously Sleepy Hollow in Salem. I'm willing to bet the cemeteries I go to, because I'm willing to bet you never heard of them. These places we talked to today, these movie sites and shit like that. I don't own it all, but I feel like I'm uncovering new shit, and that's what we're about. So if you're down with joining us, that's cool. 6 minutes to go. Follow me on YouTube. Adam, all hypercase words. You type in Adam the Historian, and it should come up. But type in Adam the Historian Ghost Hunter, 2 words. It'll come up. 93 subscribers. I got like 100-something videos, maybe not even that much. I got about 4 or 5 I need to drop. And, of course, all my historically haunted on YouTube. That's a separate channel. That's where all the shows go there.
You know, it'd be really cool if somebody could give us some, like, shout-out requests of places to go.
That'd be different.
Give us a challenge, guys.
I get messages once in a blue moon, but I'm usually like, I've been there. I know about it. But thank you. I try to be humble about it. But yeah, it's always nice to find out something new. I mean, we got Maine covered, but at the same time, you never fucking know because I literally just found out something not long ago. What did we find out? Oh, that guy that got killed by a bomb in the bomb squad, like in Maine, is buried. So yeah, reach out to us. Nicole's gonna be on a Vodcast Saturday. Very cool.
Oh, that's really cool, Nicole. That's awesome. I want to go to Alabama so bad. I want to go to Alabama
district area.
so
I love to
bad.
see an activity. Yes, that's really cool. That's our thing.
I want to go to Alabama so bad.
Like I said, if it's not haunted, at least it's historic, and you can kind of get both. And I don't mind helping people, but I don't really have the means to be on a helpful team. I could be, I guess, but I'm more into researching and history, exploring, kind of selfish about it.
What it is with me is I'm 100% energy work I feel energy all day long. I can't be around a lot of people, and it sucks because I get lonely. But I can't. It's hard for me to make connections because anybody who does energy work and knows energy and knows all of that, they can understand what I'm saying. And it's really hard.
If we can find a nice chick to hang out with or a nice couple or something, that'd be cool. So we'll put it out there. I mean, obviously you guys would all love to. You're farther away. You guys are welcome to stay here and visit, she says.
Oh, yay. I want to go to so bad.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, who knows where the road goes? Like I said, I'm kind of situated now. I can kind of leave whenever. It's all about Heather's daughter more than anything. And if she's taken care of, we can get out of here for a little bit. If not this year, next year. It's so fucking time flies, man. It's already almost September. Yeah. It's crazy.
I know. Thank God, though. Bring it.
Historically Haunted Show every Friday on Paranormal King Radio Network, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's my radio show, audio only. I got Shane Feek, who is one of the hosts of the Studio 6 Paranormal Podcast with Jay Hill. So he'll be my guest. Heather's on every other Wednesday at 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern on the Witch and Life Guide Show, and that's on Paranormal King Radio Network.
So that'll be Wednesday the 10th and Wednesday the 24th.
Yep, and Halloween's coming up. That's right, Nicole. We're going to be talking about Halloween soon. I'll have some normal, awesome guests next week. Heather might be my co-hostess, and if not, it'll be us again, and you guys can just fucking deal with it and not watch if you don't want to.
Please
Heather,
do.
Any shout outs, Heather? Anything I missed? Anything you're working on?
I know there's some questions we didn't get to, and I'm really sorry,
How's your garden?
guys.
How's my sage growing?
Well, I haven't been to it in 4 days because I've been up north. I got to go tomorrow, and I'm afraid what the heat's done. But they we'll see. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that nothing's too dry. But I picked up the zucchinis and everything before we left. I harvested what I could, so.
Thank you for catching us, Alexandra. Say hi to Kenneth for us. We love you guys. Thank you, Lilac Welkin, Nicole Gaspard from Real Haunted Connections on Paranormal King Radio Network every Wednesday night as well at 10 to 11 p.m. Eastern time.
Pacific, it'd be 7 p.m. 7 p.m.
Nathaniel
Pacific.
Elwell checking in. Fred Richards for checking in. Brady Goebel for checking in. All you guys really appreciate you checking in earlier. I'm trying to go through.
And Betsy, if you're still there, thank you for coming on.
Betsy Brown Williams for checking in. All you guys.
UFO Fred was here. Did you say UFO Fred?
UFO Fred was here for a little bit. I thanked him. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. I know we didn't have a lot of content, but hopefully you learned. Hey, there he is, Kenneth Drake.
Kenny.
Oh, there we go. Yes. Great show for next week for sure. Yes. Two my favorite legends. Oh, we love you, brother. We love you.
So sweet.
We got to go now. It's been an hour and a half of us babbling about Stephen King filming sites, hidden cemeteries, and just historical stuff in Maine. So try to catch the show again. Maybe rewind it. We love you too, brother. Hopefully see you guys soon. We're going to fucking rule Massachusetts, paint the town red. And
amazing.
So Heather Witch and Caminiti, Adam the Historian Ghost Hunter, Adam Began, Historically Haunted Vodcast, almost into season 2. October 31st will be the end of season 1. So thank you guys for fucking committing and watching. And I appreciate you guys. We're going to be on Kenneth's show too, I believe, at some point coming up soon. So thank you guys. Have a great night. And go out, learn some history, historians. Go out, learn some shit and teach the world and love each other. Fucking
make love when you can. Make love when you can.
We might tonight. No, just kidding. Have a great night, really. Have a great night, guys. Love each other. Be well. And it could be worse. So take care, historians.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.